we going to talk about?
I don't know. Cars?
You're the fucking one doing the podcast.
This is true. This is true. All right.
Let's introduce ourselves. I'm Al. That's Raj. His name's Navin, but his second name's Raj. I much prefer that. This is our inaugural podcast.
It is, and I thought we'd talk about you because you're so exciting to talk about.
Yeah, we might need another couple of subjects if that's the case.
Yeah, well, why don't we start with you first? So,
all right.
Cars. While you're taking me through these roads, tell me.
We're doing the speed limit in a 3-cylinder Kia Picanto GT. So Nav is going to ask the questions and I'm going to answer them. It'll be the first time ever that I've answered a question.
Right. So, well, since we're in Kia, we'll talk about their sister company, Hyundai.
Yep.
They're making a Ute.
Yes, and I don't mean uterus.
What are your thoughts on that?
It wouldn't surprise me if
I believe the quote from the product manager was, if we're going to make a Ute, it better be a bloody Ute.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, the whole... and by Ute we mean pickup, by the way. So it's like a pickup truck, like a Hilux.
Yes, you Americans.
Like well, we have lots of Americans that watch us.
Ah, there you go.
And both of them are fabulous, I'm sure.
So tell me about the Ute. What are your thoughts on Hyundai introducing a Ute? Think it'll be a success?
Yeah, I do.
The RSQ3 Sportsback was announced last week. Yeah. Which is a RSQ3. It has the same engine out of the current RS3, so the 2.5 litre turbo. And they put it in a Q3 and made the back end smaller.
So they took away some of the practicality and made it thirstier.
Yes.
I've driven really powerful Audis that have allegedly a vast amount of grip with Quattro, which is Audi's all-wheel drive system. And to be honest, it wasn't all that and a bag of chips. Make of that what you will.
Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of Nasho, which is the colloquial term for Royal National Park.
Yeah, that's what Sydney siders call the Royal National Park, because we can't actually spell Royal, National or Park.
You can buy T-shirts that said "I've done the Nasho."
There's a website called what is it? I binned my car in the Nasho.
Yes.
Because people drive through there like knobs. One of the things that we discussed with product managers at Kia in the past, you know who you are, Roland, that they can put some things in cars, but they can only put it in if it's offered by the factory. So how this works is, so when you get a car, let's say that you go to a restaurant, you get your menu, and you choose from the menu what you want. Well, product managers do the same thing for cars. So they get a big list of things, and often those things are tied to really bizarre things. Like heated seats might be tied to a sunroof. Oh, really? Or heated mirrors might be tied to heated seats and a particular paint colour. Yeah, because it comes out of a particular factory. Some of the factories produce some things and not others. So they may have one engine like a GDI engine, the other ones might have something else that's not direct injection, and they might have a 4-speed, the other factory might have the 7-speed DCT.
Cars in Australia, to give you an idea, we also have something called a luxury car tax, which is supposed to protect our local car industry.
Now, since the government killed off our local car industry, our particularly idiotic government, we had a prime minister who dared the car companies to leave, so they did. Like an idiot.
But I have to say, there are quite a number of electric motorcycle companies that are coming out of Australia, manufactured in Australia, out of South Australia.
Yeah.
So I think that's at least there are signs that potentially we could have a car industry.
Well, we both ride bikes, and I've never ridden an electric bike in my life, but I have driven a lot of electric cars, and I would welcome the notion of an electric bike, especially one made here.
Yeah, absolutely. There is one, actually one just recently launched. They're building it in Adelaide. Fantastic.
The trouble with them all, though, is they're outrageously expensive.
Yes.
So the last there was one, I think it was called a Zero or something like that.
25,000.
25,000, and was it LA cops were using them?
Okay.
They had a whole fleet of them. As far as I know, still are.
This car, when it was tested, it got a 4.5 out of 5-star rating.
It is a safe car, and Kia made a point of saying of some of their other cars, and Peugeot Citroën too, that just because a car gets 4 stars, it doesn't mean that it's not safe. A 5-star car may not be safer than a 4-star car. May not be safer than a 4-star car. So it may perform better in some areas, but, for example, adult protection, the 5-star car may have gotten 4 stars, and the 4-star car may have gotten 4 stars.
If you are buying a car, particularly a new car, take the time to read the ANCAP report. It is available publicly.
ANCAP, but you can just go to their website, put your car model in, and you can see if it's been tested, because not all cars have, because it costs $1 million plus $1 million plus 5 cars. And the good thing about that is that there's 5 different tests to destruction. But that's not all that ANCAP rates a car on. They also rate it on additional safety features as well. Some safety features you have to get 5 stars, but other safety features like active lane control and various other kinds of autonomous emergency braking, so high-speed braking, etc., aren't yet essential for 5 stars, but will become essential for 5 stars.
To add another layer of confusion, ANCAP's sister company, which is EuroNCAP, in certain instances they will use the results of EuroNCAP as the Australian ANCAP results.
Well, now they're both the same. So there was a 2-year period where the criteria weren't the same, but ANCAP was accepting the results anyway. But now the requirements for EuroNCAP and ANCAP, which is the Australian version, are the same. So they require the same things. So it's not actually essential for a car company, if they've been tested in Europe, to be retested in Australia. They just use the same results.